If you've ever paid too much for a paintball gun and people made fun of you for it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today, we're talking about the Freeflow Trix. But first, I'd like to give a big thanks to Father Time and his lovely wife who participated in the intro video. I was only joking when I said you were going to probably get shot in the head for our video, but apparently the paint we were shooting that day had other intentions. Full disclosure, I know Buddy and Justin at Freeflow, and I also met Robert from Arc Anodizing at the 2023 Freeflow Open, and none of them had any idea that I had bought this gun until after I had paid for it with my own money. When I was talking about the Trix with Buddy, he mentioned 4 main points that they wanted to accomplish with the Freeflow Trix. 1, they wanted a tasteful but complex style for the marker. 2, they wanted good value for the customer. 3, they wanted to embrace and improve the already soft shot that the DSR Plus provided. And 4, wanted the best shooting, take it out of your bag and play type of marker, especially for the mechanical side, that they could get. Now, normally I don't do unboxings, but since A&S Gear isn't selling one of these, I figured I'd just do a quick unboxing to see what you get with this. First, you get this cool little sleeve. Here. Standard DSR Plus box. You do get 2 barrel backs, a 688 and a 684. Also, you get the stock bolt, Allen wrenches, barrel bag. Is there something in here? Oh, there's the battery in here. Still in its packaging. You get a certificate of authenticity, and that's signed by a couple of nerds, and a startup guide. And there she is. Also, one of the things that I really like about the Freeflow packaging is that you not only do you get parts kits, but you literally get everything else. So if you wanted to, for whatever reason, turn this back into a stock DSR Plus, they give you literally every part that you would want or need in order to do it. Also, one kind of complaint I have, I do like the milling on the feed neck here. It's not the feed neck, but the little clamp here. It's a little sharp. Like when you have a hopper tightened down on here, it hurts a little bit to get this off, but it's not too bad. But if it bothers you enough, they do give you the original clamp. And this is the mechanical frame. Get a cool little sticker that actually came on this, and a manual for the mechanical frame, and the mechanical frame itself with all the good stuff in here. There's really, we haven't gotten to it yet, but there is some really good stuff in there. But it also comes with the Freeflow 2.0 mechanical trigger, the original DSR Plus mechanical trigger, some O-rings here. I mean, you literally get everything. If you had bought this new, you literally get everything that you'd normally get if you just bought this in increments. Now, previously, before I've said, I don't think that electronic triggers are that big a deal on electronic guns, but this fancy trigger from Freeflow feels exceptionally good. Like to be fair, I'm not going to go out and buy it for every gun that I own, but at the same time, I'm honestly surprised at how good this electronic trigger feels. Now, one thing I did want to comment on is the anodizing. For the most part, the anodizing is pretty perfect. One thing that I can make note of this is, since this is silver, technically there wasn't any colored dye that was introduced into the metal during the anodizing process. So this is literally the color of the aluminum, and it's just sealed during the anodizing process. Now, for the most part, the anodizing is pretty perfect, except if you can see on the inside of the trigger frame here. Only on the electronic frame. Everything else is perfect. It's only on the inside of this electronic trigger frame. The anodizing is a little spotty here, and I talked to Robert about this, and essentially that area didn't get polished enough as it should. Essentially, that's what raw aluminum looks like without being polished. And I talked to Robert from Arc Anodizing about this, and essentially there is kind of complicated agreement between Buddy and Arc Anodizing, because technically, when you order a Trix from Freeflow Technologies, you're not the customer of Arc Anodizing, Buddy is. And Buddy is relaying the information to Arc Anodizing. And Arc Anodizing and Buddy have come up with a somewhat complicated formula about how much time you can spend on each particular gun in order to get it out in a timely fashion. I'm not trying to make excuses for Arc Anodizing, but essentially the inside of the grip frame here just didn't get enough time, getting polished. And if it had been a dust frame, or if it had been a light, or if it had been a darker color, or even if it was just dust silver, that probably wouldn't have shown up. But just by chance, the grip frame that didn't get enough polishing happened to be a silver gun. So this kind of blemishes kind of show up the most with the silver anodizing. Now, like I said before, I'm not trying to make excuses for Arc Anodizing, but during my conversation with Robert, essentially he told me that if there's anything wrong with your gun for any reason, you can send it back to Arc Anodizing. They'll do whatever it takes to get it back to the way that you want it to be. And personally, is this a little disappointing? Yeah, it's a little disappointing. I mean, you spent over $1,700 for a gun package, and you want it to be perfect. And this is less than perfect, but at the same time, I would be disappointed, but I don't think I would really bother sending him back to Arc Anodizing to have this fixed. It's just the inside of the trigger guard. It's not too bad, and it's not that apparent. It's just one of those things that I had found, and I wanted to make note of it. Now, one quick thing I wanted to make a note about is the back cap milling here. It's fantastic. I really like the milling on this gun. Unfortunately, it makes it a little harder to get the back cap out. You kind of have to do a little two-handed operation. This one's broken in a little bit, but when I first got this gun, it was actually particularly harder to get this out. So I love the milling on this, but it does make it a little harder to get your bolt out of the back of the gun. Now, this may be a little disappointing for some of you to hear, but the shot quality on the Freeflow Trix is pretty much identical, at least in the electronic frame form. It's pretty much identical to a regular DSR Plus. That may be disappointing to some, but to me, that's perfectly acceptable because I love the shot quality on the DSR Plus. Unfortunately, there is kind of a rumor or misconception that's kind of floating around that's I find a little irritating, and that the Freeflow Trix has special internal milling that makes the shot quality better and smoother and different.
Well, let's play this out logically then, Mr. Spock.
Now, how the airflow works on a DSR Plus / the Freeflow Trix is the air from the air tank screws in here, goes through the regulator components, kind of makes a 90-degree turn somewhere in there, goes straight up through the grip frame. See, there's literally nothing in here. This is just a straight hole. Goes into the solenoid body here. Once it gets through the solenoid, it has these two little holes here that pass the air into the inside of the body here. You can kind of see them right in there. Once they're inside the body, the bolt engine kind of does what it will with the air. By the solenoid cycling back and forth, this will cycle the bolt. That's it. I don't know where these fabled air passages are from, because this is just a piece of aluminum. This is just a tube of aluminum. However, what I have discovered is these two holes back here have a nice little bevel on both of them. That's it. That's your special milling. That's your god.
Your booze mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer.
Now, obviously, Freeflow didn't do this on accident, because when they're milling these bodies, they actually have to go in and put a nice little bevel on there. And of course, this helps airflow a little bit. It's not huge, but if you think that this little bevel on these two air ports is going to drastically improve the shot quality of the gun, you're probably living a happier life than I am. So I don't understand where all this myth comes from, where there's special internalized milling that's in the body that, like, literally this is it. Just these little bevels right here. I'm not talking down to the guys at Freeflow, because like I said before, you purposely have to put a bevel on these. The dramatic effects that people are toting about the Trix and this milling is drastically overblown, in my opinion. Now that I have the gun all opened up on the table here, I figured this would be a good opportunity to talk about the mechanical frame. And if there's any takeaway from this review, I literally can't put into words how good the internal components of the mechanical frame are. I know I just came from a segment where I was talking about how like there isn't really any body billing that makes the shot quality different, but oh my God, the internals that they put in here are utterly fantastic. Like it literally changes the shot quality of the gun beyond what I thought was conceivable. If anything, that's where probably the rumors are coming from. People seem to think it's like there's some special body milling that went into the special shot of the Trix. It's all in here. I don't have a regular DSR Plus mechanical frame to compare it to, but every person I've given this gun to shoot with a mechanical frame has been utterly surprised at how good it shoots with the mechanical frame.
Is that a free flow?
This is a free flow.
This is what it was. Oh my God, it's so light. Oh wow.
Smooth, isn't it?
That's crazy.
If there's anything you take away from this review, if you shoot a DSR Plus mechanical, do yourself a favor and just get the Misfits mechanical kit from Freeflow. Caveat is you have to send it in to them to have them put it in. It's 110% worth the time that it takes to get that done. Now, a little nitpick I have kind of with the mechanical frame is that it's not as adjustable as, say, like an EMEC. You know, if you get an aftermarket EMEC trigger, the EMEC triggers usually have a post-travel, pre-travel, and then firing point. The DSR Plus / Trix mechanical frames don't have a firing point adjustment. So it's not as adjustable, but honestly, it doesn't really need it. One of the nitpicky things I kind of have about the trigger frame is that it would be nice if they replace these screws with nylon tip screws. Because I don't know if you can see this on here. Yeah, it's really kind of hard to tell. But if you have this on the mechanical frame, it'll actually kind of slightly indent the body. This screw here, this trigger stop screw here, will actually kind of make a little mark on the inside of the body. It's kind of hard to tell on that one, but it does do it. And it would have been kind of nice to have these nylon tip screws so you don't have any body damage. And it also would be nicer if these screws were a little bit longer. Would it be nice if it came from Freeflow like this? Yeah, but like I said, it's really super nitpicky, and it's probably something I'll eventually do if I do pick up one of the mechanical frames. Another thing is that both triggers that come with the mechanical frame are excellent. I do like the Freeflow mech trigger, the 2.0. I do like that one. It's very comfortable. However, I kind of prefer this one a little bit better. If you're playing a game and someone comes around a corner and surprises you, you can kind of get a sloppier pull. You can kind of pull up here, you can pull down here, kind of pull wherever you kind of want in order to get a shot off. Whereas the mechanical frame kind of funnels your finger into the same spot each time. Granted, very, very comfortable. I actually like it quite a bit, but for me, I would think I would use, I mean, that's kind of the cool thing about having, getting a Freeflow Trix is you get all the trigger options, literally everything. So I kind of prefer this a little bit more for mechanical play, simply because I can get a sloppier pull on it. Now, as I mentioned before, the Freeflow or even just the regular DSR Plus mechanical frame triggers don't have a firing point adjustment screw. And one of the things that I tried to do, because I could actually adjust this trigger to the point where the safety wouldn't work, and considering these modern kind of mechanical guns, how short their trigger pulls are, I'm a very big advocate of having a functional safety on these. I mean, simply for safety reasons. What I did try to do to adjust the firing point is put a little bit of blue painter's tape on here. And one of the things I did is I put 4 strips on here because it kind of felt like I had enough latitude with the mechanical valve that I could kind of really kind of beef up the fire actuation point a little more. But the thing is, I ran into a really, really dangerous problem with that. Originally, I put 4 strips of tape on here, and that would actually cause the gun to discharge with the safety on and no one around it. I literally had this laying on my bed with air in the system, no paint, nothing. It was just sitting there on my bed, and it would just go off by itself. If you're going to play with the firing point adjustment with just tape, be very, very careful about it, because I had a very substantial problem with it. Originally, I started off with 4 strips of tape. I took off 1 strip of tape, and it still did it. It still would spontaneously discharge without anyone touching the trigger or being around it or anything like that. Currently, I have 2 strips of tape on here, and it's been fine. That's one of the things. That's probably why they don't have a firing point adjustment screw on these triggers, is that it's already pretty close to firing as it is. Don't do the tape mod unless you really have vetted out your trigger ahead of time. So with that out of the way, how about a quick little efficiency test over at All Out Paintball? Pew, 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 pew. So I'm here at All Out Paintball with Ken, and today we're doing an efficiency test on the Freeflow Trix. Now, strangely enough, I've done a review on a DSR Plus beforehand, and with the Iron Man Pro kit, and I got 1,700 shots on this. So today we're doing something a little bit different. Normally I use a 68-45, but we're using a 77-45 because Dye's other paintball marker that they came out with this year was the DLS, and its big claim to fame is that it can shoot a case of paint off a 77. And considering my DSR Plus did 1,700 shots off a 68, that's pretty close to what the DLS is claiming. So today you mix it up a little bit and went with a 77 just to see if this Trix can actually do a whole case of paint. So yeah, let's load it up and shoot it.
All right, we'll do it. So,
oh, also real quick, barrel back is 680, tank regulator is 450, and also my personal belief is that any modern paintball gun should be able to shoot 6 pods on a 68-45, and that's why they're color coded here. If it can't get out of the red, I'm like your dad. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. So, but I'm pretty sure we can definitely get more than 6 pods out of this thing today. So,
all right. Well, you all set?
Yep. Just got to load it up and chronograph. So pod. Oh, and also the shot counter is at 0. Not that I can't really show it in this light. It's a little tough, but it's at 0. So we'll be able to check that too. Okay, we're back. We had a little hopper problem, but it is now remedied. So we are shooting at. Yep, got to hold it. I have it set up so you have to hold it. 276, 296, 291, 288, 296. I'd say that's good. A few low ones, but this is actually leftover paint from one of your tournaments, correct?
Yeah. It's been sitting in an open box for 3 weeks. So
yeah, if anything, it's doing pretty good considering. So
good to go.
Good to go.
All right. Well, I'm pretty impressed. That's 11. There's 12.
There's 12.
Still shooting the length of the field.
Well, we may have to get more paint after this. Oh, there
Nope.
it goes.
Yeah.
There it goes.
So about 11 and a half.
So yeah.
About 11 and a half.
Yeah, I'm getting a little gate. And that's
Yep.
pretty much.
Yep.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's pretty much almost empty. So.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, you could probably one balls with someone, but I don't like to go by that metric because it's like I got the gun and I want to be able to shoot ropes with it all day and not just one ball people. So.
Yeah.
So this is the first time you've used Freeflow Trix, correct?
Yes.
How's it feel?
I like it. Trigger's a little different for me than what I'm not used to. Like I said, I'm used to mechanical. That's all I play anymore is mechanical. So it's been a long time since I even used a electronic gun.
And did you notice any balls breaking at all?
I'd never broke a one.
Yeah, I've
never broke a ball.
Yeah, I have a
Perfect.
DSR Plus that I did a review on. I've never broken a ball on that. I've never broken a ball on this. So
No, shoots good.
So
I love it.
Just as a side note, I forgot to show the shot counter, but we did 1,646 shots on a 77-45.
now here are some interviews with some people that I loaned out the Freeflow Trix to, specifically in the mechanical format. So I am here with
Cubby from Team Lockout.
and you've had a chance to play a few games with the Freeflow Trix. What do you think?
I have. It's a very lovely gun. I like the way it feels. It shoots really smooth. I played probably 5 or 6 different points with it today, and I couldn't really find anything wrong with it. I took your core sample.
Core sample? Handled that well.
Tried out the core sample and never chopped the ball. All in all, really nice gun. I like how it's thin. You can kind of see right down. Nothing in the way. The EMX is kind of a little rounder, but I do.
But just to clarify, you've only used a mechanical frame today, correct?
Correct. I've only used the mechanical frame today.
And normally you use an EMEC.
I do normally use an EMEC.
So how does that compare to an EMEC?
I think it compares pretty well to pretty much the same. This probably shoots a little bit smoother. I've gone through and I put the 3-way valve in mine, the secret pin, I got the Inceptions trigger, and I've got mine tuned pretty well, so they're pretty close. I think as far as price point, if you want to have a really nice, shiny, flashy gun, shoots really well. No complaints about the gun. Like I said, never chopped the ball. You know, this is a great gun to buy. But for me personally, I think I'll stick with my EMEC.
Did it make you a better player today?
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker!
It did not make me a better player. That's proof that the gear does not make the player makes the gear.
I am here with...
My name's Stu.
And you got to play a few games with the Freeflow Trix today. What did you think of it?
I did. The Freeflow Trix shoots absolutely phenomenal. For any mechanical gun that's out there, I mean, the only thing that I think it would go up against is the CS3 mechanical at the moment. The thing barely moves when you shoot it. I had the pleasure of shooting this. I won this at the Freeflow Open. It's got just the normal DSR Plus internals, and I thought it shot great earlier today. And then Mike gave me the Freeflow Trix, and man, this thing was ball on ball action, didn't move. The balance feels better than the DSR Plus. I don't know. I think I'm gonna grab them myself. I have to call Buddy soon.
Did you play any better with it?
Did I play any better? I think the balancing of it, I don't know if it, well, this has a dye barrel on it as well, but I felt like the balance of this Trix was better than the DSR Plus. So while running and gunning, yeah, I think I was able to shoot more accurately. But,
so would you take that over an EMEC?
would I take this over EMEC? This is $1,800. EMEC, I think we went over that as $400. If you do all the bells and whistles, it comes out to $800. Me personally, I'm buying the Trix. I'm not going to shoot an EMEC ever.
Now I want to revisit Buddy's notes that he gave me when I first asked him about the Freeflow Trix. One, we wanted a tasteful but complex style to the marker. Obviously, the appearance of the gun can be subjective, but I do enjoy the milling. I like the styling. I like everything about it. So I think they did accomplish that. We wanted a good value for the customer. You may say to yourself, well, how could it possibly be good value? It's over $1,700 for the gun. I've actually broken it down for you. A stock DSR Plus is $1,000. The Iron Man Pro Kit is $90. The mechanical frame is $250. The Misfits DSR Plus treatment, which includes the Freeflow bolt and mech frame internals, $100. If you use a DSR Plus in a mechanical format, that is 125% worth it. If any, just get that. Stop the video and just go get that right now if you ever shoot mechanical DSR Plus. The Freeflow Fancy Electronic Trigger is $35. The Freeflow Flash Mech Trigger is $35. The Freeflow Mech Trigger 2.0 is $40. The Extra Dye Ultralight S Barrel Back Gloss, no color options, just gloss black, that's $50. That's a total of $1,600. That leaves $175 for milling and anodizing, which you're not going to get anywhere for that price. So yeah, I think they have achieved a very good value to the customer for what you get compared to what you pay for. They wanted to embrace and improve the already soft shot that the DSR Plus provides in spades. I enjoy shooting this. It's phenomenal in mechanical. It's excellent in the electronic format. It's excellent all around. And number 4, we wanted the best shooting, take it out of your bag, and play type marker, especially for the mechanical that you could. Essentially what they're getting at there is they wanted to be reliable. You didn't want to, more time playing, less time tinkering with your gun. Not only is the mechanical frame excellent, it changes the shot quality of the gun completely. It's been 100% reliable. Everyone I've given it to, they've never had a problem. Not only do they comment on the shot quality, none of them had a problem with using the mech frame at all. Buddy later goes on to say, "We couldn't be happier with the performance and overwhelming response from the paintball community on this project." And I think that's well deserved. This goes a little above and beyond just a new mill job and new colors that you can get. Kind of like, what you can get with like a CS3 or the CS2s and stuff like that. This is a fantastic package that I have really felt privileged to be able to review for you. And with that, I got nothing else for you. One last thing. Please support your local paintball fields. We're losing paintball fields every year, and we're running out of places to play our favorite sport.